Now we're going to put the spotlight on LinkedIn. Why are we doing that? Because LinkedIn has finished 10 years in India. What's the last 10 years been like, and what are the next 10 years going to be like for LinkedIn? Joining me is the India boss for LinkedIn. Incidentally, this is his first ever television interview since taking on this new role, Ashutosh Gupta. Ashutosh, thanks so much for joining us here on Startup Central. Congratulations. What a decade it's been for you guys. But can you tell me what the learnings have been? And going forward, when we say cheers to the next 10, what can we expect?
Yeah, thank you for speaking to me today. It's very exciting. LinkedIn has completed 10 years in India. We started our office in 2009, and over the last 10 years, there are some really memorable moments for us at LinkedIn. We have 20x our member base in India, which is currently stands at 62 million members. In fact, in the last 4 years, we have doubled the member base from 30 million to 62 million today. So it's been an exciting growth for us at LinkedIn in India. Also, I think from many other dimensions, it's been very, very heartening what we have done in LinkedIn India. Our global R&D center based out of Bangalore has been first building products made in India for India, and now they have taken that mandate to build for the whole world. So as I said earlier, we are very excited about what we have done in 10 years in India, and we are really excited about the next decade, which is right here.
Great to know. LinkedIn has finished a milestone. While we talk about the next 10 years, it's coinciding with you taking over as and being the new India boss. What's going to be your focus areas for LinkedIn and India?
Absolutely. So I think there are two focus areas which are big for me as I step into this role for heading LinkedIn India. First one is focus on few segments which are very, very important for us. So students, young professionals, and SMBs. So we're going to focus on building a value proposition and accelerating our value proposition for these segments. Specifically talking about, for example, students, we have a partnership with MTV, and we are going to start the season 6 of MTV Get a Job, which resonates very strongly with our students and the young professional population, because they get to apply for this very exciting job opportunities with one of the best employers in the country. So I think build on that, on these segments, especially students and young professionals. On SMB side, Open for Business, which we launched earlier, is helping SMBs and freelancers to put what they, the skills and the services they're providing right there on the profile, which is going to help them get recognized and get some business going for their companies. Second, which is also a big focus for LinkedIn globally, which is definitely I'm going to focus on, is bridging the network gap. Let me take a minute to explain what the network gap is, right? Where you grow up, which school you go to, which companies you work for define your network strength. And we fundamentally believe that all people with same talent and same skills should have equal opportunities. So we are working as a company to understand what the network gap is today, and then build scalable solutions to bridge that network gap for India.
Okay, so those are the focus areas for LinkedIn going forward. But you know, Ashutosh, I know you're very enthusiastic about the growth, and it has been phenomenal growth. But when I look at your active users, the subscribers that you have on the platform currently in India, it's literally a drop in the ocean. A drop in the ocean when I compare it to the Indian population, but also just a number of users you have worldwide. How important is the Indian market for LinkedIn?
So let me take you back to our mission and vision, which is very important. We are trying to create an economic graph, create economic opportunities for all members of the global workforce. India has a big role to play in if LinkedIn has to meet that mission and vision. We have 62 million members on our platform. We have more than 500,000 open jobs and 500,000 companies on the platform, right? We have 62,000 universities and schools on LinkedIn.com. So this contribution from LinkedIn India or from India to the global mission and vision is very, very important, right? And if we have to build this economic graph, we have to continuously keep scaling some of these nodes on the graph, as well as keep accelerating our momentum. So to your question, India is very important. We are a strategic market for LinkedIn globally, and we will continue focusing on building the acceleration for global economic graph.
What's also obviously great is that we're seeing a data explosion in India. We're calling data the new oil. But having said that, it's not just you who may have massive expansion plans. It's also the likes of Instagram, Facebook. For example, you want to go after small and medium businesses, but so does Facebook as well as Instagram, which, the latter especially being very popular with the youth, right? It's considered to be a youth brand, and look at our demographic. How are you at LinkedIn going to ensure that you ride the data wave, exploit it in the best possible way, even if it's at the cost of your competitors?
I think the context is very important, Antara. I think that professional context is the most important thing at LinkedIn, and we are very focused to make sure that we maintain the integrity of the professional context for our members, as well as keep providing value back to our members, right? So to your question, as long as we maintain the integrity of our professional context, I'm not worried, and there's a lot of effort and focus in the company to make sure that we stay course on our professional context and mission and vision.
I get it. There is, of course, a different context, a professional context. Like, for example, we all think of LinkedIn as a serious network. You might be impressing your future boss there. You want to be taken seriously as a professional. So I get that professional context. But nevertheless, I also see one other similarity, which is very interesting. You're also looking at influencers, right? Just the way Instagram is. What I also found very fascinating is the kind of influencers you have on Instagram or Facebook are very different from what you see on LinkedIn.
I think I will go back to my professional context. We are very, very focused on that, and that drives a lot of our business decisions, right? Our culture and values, and some of these are guiding principles when we come to making some of the business decisions. So even LinkedIn influencers, it's driven by the professional context, right? So they are 500 in number globally. They are leading business thinkers and thought leaders, and they are sharing their own personal journeys, what they have learned from those personal journeys back to our member base, which provides value. So we will stay on course and focus on our professional context and use some of our culture and values as guiding principles when we make those decisions.
The other thing I found very interesting, and just taking forward this conversation of influencers, yes, LinkedIn, of course, is the most serious social network. It has a professional context. You're trying to impress people professionally. At least that's the way a lot of us see it. But when I look at your influencers, not only are they different from Instagram, the other thing I found very interesting was just how diverse they are. Look at that portfolio. You've got people like Kiran Bedi, as well as a stand-up comic.
So I think, as I said earlier, influencers is one bucket for sure, where these are renowned business leaders who have proven their value in the business environment, and those are the voices people want to hear. But also we heard from our members that there are a lot of people out there on LinkedIn which are using their own personal experiences, who are people like you and me, and whose voices are becoming very big on the platform, right? So we wanted to make sure that these voices are also heard. We definitely give them the recognition for what they're doing on the platform, and that's where LinkedIn Top Voices is as a list which we look at many diverse experiences, different diverse profiles. For example, Rahul Subramaniam, who is a comedian, who is also on the platform, really helps his skill of humor in a professional context, and helps our members engage. So I think the idea here is to get all different voices on the platform. One is definitely influencers, but also the top voices, which has people from many different aspects, different professions coming together and doing wonderful work on LinkedIn.com.
Okay, great to know that. What about LinkedIn newsrooms? What are you folks doing developing a newsroom? I'm not just talking because it might be a competitor for us here at the Times Group, but seriously, what's the rationale behind the newsroom? How important is that also?
So I think I want to talk a little bit about trust. and then I'll connect back to your question on LinkedIn News. Trust is our topmost priority, operating priority for LinkedIn. We have been ranked 3 times continuously as #1 social media platform, most trustable social media platform by Business Insider, right? So I think that trust, it's our responsibility to maintain, make sure that we are doing all the things to maintain that trust with our member base. In that context, news plays a very important role. A lot of our members demand that we need to get more professional news from LinkedIn, and that's where we have done a lot of efforts to connect our platform with different business publications, business entities which provide us those news. In India specifically, we have what we call daily rundown, which is our way of saying these are the top news in the market today, which we feed back to our member base, right? So I think the combination of trust and what our members needs is helping us really serve the needs of our members.
With the immense focus you're giving to trust, equally important, therefore, will be to bust fake news, to bust fake profiles as well. When we talk about talent searches, for example, and things like that. So when you have such a big focus on trust, how do you ensure it?
So I think any of these things which we don't want on our platform, we have 2 ways to really solve for it. We have machine interventions or algorithms which help us identify players which we don't want on the platform, or the news or different artifacts which we don't want on the platform, and then there is manual intervention as well. So I think a combination of machine plus human intervention helps make sure that we stay true to our trust operating priority on the platform and provide a very safe, secure environment for our members to engage in a professional context.
Ashutosh, can you also shed some light on LinkedIn events? What's all of this about?
So LinkedIn Events is our first global product which was built by Team India, which was really born out of our India R&D center. As you can think about it as made in India for the world, right? So what LinkedIn Events is our attempt, or is our way of understanding how to use LinkedIn for building events for our professional community. When you think about events, people use LinkedIn to invite people to events and then take some of those experiences offline, outside LinkedIn, in the event space or in the meetup space. But one of the big things is also they want to connect after the event to make sure that we keep talking and we keep nurturing the people who attended the events. So this product helps you do all the 3 things: invite the right set of people, take this experience offline, connect with them, and then come back and keep nurturing those relationships back on LinkedIn.com. So it's a fantastic product which we have built out of here, which is for the global audiences or the global marketplace, and it's going to help many different kind of events. Even if you are an individual who is trying to put a meetup together in the city today, that will work. As well as if you're a large company who's organizing a huge event with thousands of people, you can use our LinkedIn Events product to build the event.
Now tell me, as the boss of LinkedIn India, have you noticed anything which might be very unique about the users in the country, something that you've had to deal with and therefore had to maybe localize LinkedIn also for?
I mean, there are definitely aspects which are unique, which we have customized, localized in our member experience. When you think about finding jobs in India, right, the velocity and the momentum, because we are a young workforce, right? We have millions of people joining our workforce, from students and young professionals. So we have to factor that into our products, into where we solution for that. So all these nuances and small things which we learn in India help us definitely localize. But broadly, I think what we have built for the global audiences work very well with LinkedIn India. It's just like small nuances which are important from a local market perspective. We factor that into our product base.
As I come to the end of this interview, I'm going to ask you the one question I know our viewers will want an answer to. You head LinkedIn India. Give us 3 ideas, 3 tips, 3 hacks, so all of us can use LinkedIn better, be taken more seriously, or maybe even also stand out during talent searches.
So my advice will be, I think definitely build a good profile on LinkedIn. That's number 1. think about what you have put on your profile, keep it updated, and then connect with the people which matter to you, and then build your relationships with them. And lastly, I think about how you can use LinkedIn to be more productive and successful. What are the things which matter to you most today? And definitely we are at LinkedIn very, very focused on providing some of those value propositions to you. So I think build your profile, keep it updated, build a strong network, and then leverage the platform and the content which you see on the platform to be more productive and successful.
Ladies and gentlemen, it doesn't get bigger than that, right? That's how you use LinkedIn. That's how you stand out on LinkedIn, and that's how you impress maybe your future employer on LinkedIn. Ashutosh, thank you so much for choosing ET Now to give your first television interview. Congratulations to the entire team at LinkedIn, and cheers for the next 10 years.
Yeah, Nenta, very nice to talk to you, and thanks for your time.